Facebook.com is the 8th most trafficked site on the internet and is a website where CU students are spending increasing amounts of time, often logging on multiple times a day.
Probably twice a day.
Probably 3 times a day.
Probably like 2 times a day, so like 14 times a week maybe.
The information students post about themselves in profiles and pictures may be incriminating them as well. Not only are your friends checking up on your profile, the CU police may be looking to see what updates you've made.
We have Facebook accounts. I mean, we have department members that have them. It's no secret. We're not trying to hide anything, but usually we'll get a call or a tip from somebody that there's information there that we should be aware of.
But it's not just the police checking up on your online antics. Bars and liquor outlets around town use the site to verify the identities of patrons suspected of trying to buy alcohol with a fake ID.
We do catch a lot of the, stupid criminals, stupid people with fake IDs who don't even think about changing their Facebook or anything that everybody has access to.
Those stupid criminals could face serious consequences.
There's a possibility of jail time.
So if you want to be in one of Boulder's bars, you need to have a real ID that says you're legally 21. Or you could end up here, at the Boulder County Justice Center, paying a ticket with fines upwards of $500.
Students should be aware that the information they post is only a click away from being used against them. Ann Laricello, News Team Boulder.